Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about Darius Geis, Alex Smith, our new team president, this, and much, much more live from Aaron. Dude, what's team president's name?
Jason Wright.
Okay. And the team president. I was just like, you don't remember his name?
I know his name.
No, we got.
I was trying to make sure that I actually remembered to hit all the buttons to start podcasting. It's been like a month. I think
it has been about a month.
We're live on YouTube, but you can go ahead and check like you always do.
YouTube looks good. It's running. It's running.
What's he laughing at? What's he laughing at?
YouTube is running, dude.
Welcome everybody. Harry Hog Football numero 494. That's 494.
I don't know. Deron Payne?
It's the Deron Payne plus 400 episode. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. First of all, let's talk about John's favorite subject, and that is when someone gets
caught.
If you did not hear, our second round pick from 2 years ago who has served for 20 snaps.
Yeah, pretty much.
Less snaps than millions he's gotten paid. I don't know.
Well, he's not getting paid anymore because he might be going to jail.
Yeah, if you guys didn't hear, Darius Geis about a week or so ago turned himself in for domestic violence, and apparently over three or four different incidents that stem since March. Is that
multiple
correct?
Incidents at his home in, I guess, Ashburn, including he choked his girlfriend, choked her,
strangled her. They said
strangled.
What's the
amongst
difference
other
between
things?
Strangling and choking? Or is
I think choking is only for I think choking is only for World Wrestling Federation, and strangling is actually real life.
Strangling is real life.
Strangling, I guess, is real life. That makes sense to me.
Maybe strangling is a crime and choking is something you do on food.
Oh, there you go. Maybe a little bit of a as opposed to a chokehold.
Welcome, David Herzing, to the chat. Yes, I was just getting to that. And today's new accusations.
Oh, man.
We were because at first I was like, wow, they've really set a precedent here. They're really turning this ship around and just getting rid of all the chaff. Is that the word?
Chaff.
Getting rid of all the chaff. But at the same time, I was like, they didn't even listen to hear this dude's side of the story. But it came out today. They knew what we did not know. Yeah. It came out today that the day before he was cut, the Redskins talked to some woman that accused him of rape while he was at LSU. And there was another woman, apparently, I don't know if she's talked about it, but two women have accused Darius Geis of rape. The Redskins, I guess, talked to that woman before they released him. And then these other accusations, they were just
Now, do you think that the Redskins were just they found out about the domestic violence stuff? They're someone was we need to talk to one of those girls back at LSU, because I guarantee you every single NFL team knew about these rape allegations before the draft. This was they kept saying there were all these things about him at college that
people were like, oh, it didn't sound like it's that big a deal, blah, 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 blah. Oh, man, I think they all knew all about it.
I think they knew about it. And apparently
I'm sure
Dude,
Alan DeBruce knew about it. That's why they wouldn't pick him up.
No one picked him up off of waivers, not even the Cowboys.
At all. Not even the Cowboys, dude. Yeah, it was. I'm sure Alan DeBruce knew about it. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that guy. It's gonna be awesome. He's good." Alan DeBruce could have like filled out a whole roster of injured players from his time when he was with the Redskins.
Well, here's the other problem. Didn't Doug Williams also vouch for him or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, he's cut. At first, for about 15 minutes, I was upset until I heard that he'd strangled a woman.
Right.
And then I was kind of like, why didn't they give him a chance to explain himself or whatever?
And he just turned himself in. It's not like he was running for the law and he was like mad about it or something. I mean, he's probably mad about it, but I mean, dude.
But then once this comes out, even if he did not do either of the rapes or the strangulation abuse stuff, even if he didn't do that, he hasn't given us anything on the field. So why deal with all that junk when we're trying to deal with everything else we're dealing with?
Why would Ron Rivera want to deal with that? You know, the only game he ever did jack squatted was against Carolina, and Ron Rivera got fired after that game. Do you think he wanted to keep him on the team? He's like, I can't wait. I can't wait to go cut this guy. I hate to make light of it, but was he induced? I hate to make light of it because it's very serious allegations. It also makes Ed Orgeron at LSU look quite suspect down there. But I mean, they've got people with dirt floors. They've got they have their 5-yard lines at their football field numbered. Who else numbers the 5-yard lines? Is it because the players can't see? They can't count.
They can't count.
They can't count. So
if they were like, dude, we need to make it to the 25 to get a first down, they'll be like, which one's that, coach?
I imagine that happened more often than people would like to think about people that are actually in college. Be like, dude, why didn't you go down? He's like, I thought I had the first down. It's like, dude, you're at the 30, not the 35.
I'd like to welcome some other people to the chat in Discord. We got DJ Cool4, K Douglas 011, Michael Kingswood, Mr. Greener D,
Greener D,
and Ruby Tripper, but it says Ruby Tripper is playing Sid Meier's Civilization, so I don't know. I don't know if he's paying attention. But anyway, usually we do this on Tuesdays, but I couldn't do it yesterday. So we're doing it today with all this news. So we had
to put it in for today. We do have a lot of news to talk about, so yeah.
So do you have anything else you want to say about Darius Geis? Anyone in the chat have anything else want to add?
Cut! Double super cut!
See, it was already, let's talk about the running back situation. We already touched on it before. It was going to be an interesting situation because we've got like 5 dudes.
And we got this Love dude that you're big on this Love guy.
I think he's going to be great. And he went to Stanford.
So you know he's smart. He put it. It's like the exact opposite of LSU.
He can count to 10. All right. Him and Geis are both coming off injury. I mean, he's not getting arrested for choking and raping people.
Geis is coming off 3 injuries, 3 major injuries.
And
major.
Right at that report, did you hear? The day of that same report, there was about the strangulation. There was a report that he was also injured, and they weren't saying the extent of it.
Dude, I'm telling you, Ron Rivera was like, of all the guys, I want to cut this guy the most. I hate this guy.
Dude, I know we're going to get into it some more, but I'm kind of liking this whole thing that Ron Rivera is putting together, and
really,
Redskins are going in a new direction with the whole Julie Donaldson hiring that we talked about,
and the team that's with him, you know, D Hall, Fran Weinstein.
We can talk about the team. Yeah, let's talk about the team. D Hall, I did not like.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it because D Hall. Who does anyone think he's going to be very good?
Not only do I not think he's not very good, but just a month ago he was saying how he was disappointed that he didn't go and join the Patriots instead of the Redskins. Is that correct? Am I getting that right, or is it BR? He was basically
I don't know.
saying
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I'm going to Google it.
And I don't like D Hall. I do not like Angelo Hall in the first place. He did have that 4 interception game against Jay Cutler and all that, but I like Darrell Greens. I don't like D Halls. I don't like prime times.
I found it.
You found it?
Yeah. You want me to bring it on?
Oh yeah, dude.
I got to remember how to do that.
So Bram Weinstein I think he'll be all right as play-by-play, as long as his voice doesn't annoy you. Some people his voice annoys. This is Bram Weinstein. That sounded a lot like your dog Grant Paulson, actually.
What is it? Is this the one that brings it on? Yes.
Ah, what is that? This advertisement for the boys. What is that? Cowboys?
I gotta hold on. How do I get audio out of it? Hold on.
You ever saw on the other side of the field?
Do you hear it?
The quarterbacks. Who's the guy? Best quarterback you ever faced?
It's got to be Tom.
Really?
I mean, I've picked off. You saw me pick off Peyton a couple times. I've picked Peyton a couple times. I mean, I picked Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Tom is one guy I don't have an interception from.
Why?
One time it was because he had Randy. One time it was because he had Gronk and Hernandez and all those guys when they were rolling, kind of doing their thing that way, distributing the ball to their tight ends a lot. I mean, he's just always had our number. And I say our because it wasn't just me out there. But, yeah, I've never beat New England. And it's crazy. I had the chance to join New England at one point after the 08 season when I got cut from Oakland. And man, I'm not going to say I made a mistake.
Wait, what happened?
But it could have, I mean, they offered
I talk about this all the time on the show.
He does.
Take it.
Now, at the time, you're a young dude. You go a different direction for whatever reason. Sometimes money is the deciding factor. As a grown man now removed from the game, would you have taken less money to play?
Absolutely.
I told you.
You regret it?
Absolutely.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
About life.
I don't regret much in life, and I regret that. It was a 3-year, $27 million contract.
He's the he's on the broadcast. God, man, why did they hire this guy?
Similar deal. Coach Belichick was like, "Look, I promised Randy I wouldn't pay anybody more than."
Told you.
I have a problem with that. And they fired Chris Cooley for that.
Anyone want to say anything? David Herzing, this is funny. Why don't you guys call the game on here on Discord? That's funny because John knows that I've always said, like, a lot of people listen to the podcast and say that they miss, like, especially the service guys, say they miss watching the game with their friends. But during a game, me and John are just on the phone the whole time, just, like, commenting on the game. And I was like, do you think anyone want to, like, listen to it? Like, we could easily put it on the Discord chat instead of just our phone call while we're watching the game.
We might,
they'd have to time it up, but, you know.
Yeah.
John's like, no one wants to hear us, dude. Anyway. The funny thing is I keep looking over at the chat and seeing David Herzing, but then it's right here on the screen, so I don't have to look at the chat. Anyway, yeah, so D Hall is in the broadcast booth.
Oh man,
with Bram Weinstein.
That guy's going to be an embarrassment, man.
I mean,
he's not going to be
saying that Grant Paulson was going to be in.
But I knew that wasn't true. Grant. This is Grant Paulson.
So anyway, Bram Weinstein, okay, whatever. Not my number one pick.
Yeah. But you know what? I wonder if Julie had other people to pick and they didn't want to go because, you know, it's the Redskins.
And then she said that decided that Chris Cooley wouldn't be on the broadcast team from earlier this year. And then other people were like, well, you're in charge now. You could have brought him back if you wanted to.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it was just, I don't know. I never really liked Chris Cooley as an analyst myself.
I didn't like him that much because he seemed kind of pompous a little bit.
He did. He kind of seemed pompous about stuff, and he acted very different from the Chris Cooley who was the player. And I want to see the Chris Cooley who was the player.
Yeah.
And instead, we're gonna hit D Hall.
D Hall, dude. You heard what he said. He regretted it. Now he's our play-by-play guy. Do you think he got the job just because he was on that show with Julie Donaldson all the time, so they were like friends?
I'm telling you, he probably wasn't the first pick. It's just who they had. It's who they could get. So hopefully, if we keep ascending, you said, we hit the rock bottom and we're starting to ascend from that finally. Maybe in a couple of years, we'll be able to get someone better.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I seriously thought, I'm not lying about this, that they were going to come back and say that it was going to be Joe Theismann on the radio.
I kind of thought that it might be him too. And I don't know. It's the only reason I didn't think it would be him is because they want to go with they're trying to go with a younger audience because you and I are actually in our 40s now. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
They have to do something. If they don't bring in younger fans, then the stadium will be even more empty every year.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah.
So anyway, they're on the radio broadcast. What else were you going to talk about before I jumped into this and you said you wanted to talk about something else first?
No, go ahead. It was good to go ahead and focus on that, on the new radio broadcast team because Larry is cut.
Dude, Larry tucked his tail and ran. We haven't heard anything from him, have we? He's just gone.
Man, good.
He's probably hanging out with Bruce Allen at some dive bar outside of Chantilly somewhere.
Bada bings. Take the cannoli. All right. Leave the body. Take the cannoli.
All right. I don't even know if what I just played is that's going to get us a content strike on YouTube or not, but
I don't know.
If it will, I'll take down the video and edit it out.
Yeah, man, because I did not see that. I was very shocked by that. But I don't know. You're gonna get that from D Hall.
Yep. Sonny and Smoot, dude, that would be hilarious. I would
love to see. I would love to see Fred Smoot. I would love to hear Fred Smoot on the radio broadcast. I think Fred Smoot was Fred Smoot was probably like, "No, man, I don't want to be involved with that."
He cracks me up every time he's on the radio or the post game shows.
He's funny,
and he's completely getting on this whole Red Wolves bandwagon. And
yeah.
Here's the thing that I think is kind of ironic. There was a small band of people on social media that got the whole name changed to begin with, and now there's this small band of annoying people trying to push the Red Wolves thing through.
I don't know if it's a small band. I think it's a medium-sized band.
It's all right. Sorry,
it's nowhere near as small as it's a small sample. Yeah, it's nowhere near as the three people, who were in the press who were talking about Redskins suck and all that and whatnot.
No. Bear with me. A small sample size of the overall fan base, because a large amount of the overall fan base never goes on Twitter, never goes on that stuff at all.
Yeah, really.
I mean, think about all the dudes that we hang out with outside the stadium when we go. How many of those dudes are on Twitter?
Not very many. It really isn't that many. But it might be more than we know.
All I'm saying is this. If you guys are on Twitter, hopefully you don't disagree with me, but you're free to. If you're on Twitter and you see people posting things about, yes, Red Wolves, this and that, okay, I don't care about Red Wolves. That's fine. Just please remind them, no expansion team cartoon logo. That's my only thing. I would if they want it, whatever they want to call the team, keep the helmets as they have them now with the numbers. I like it because you can see which players are making plays without trying to read their jersey all the time. I'm like,
I'd say we just stick with Washington football team and be different from everybody else.
I do too, but
and then we can be like, let's go Hogs, and let's go. People can name them whatever they want to name them.
Yeah. We just need something classic because we're a classic team. That's all I care about. So Washington football team is fine. I like
with Sonny and Smoot.
I like the helmets and things, but
the helmets look nice. I like them a lot. Dude. Speaking of, we know that training camp is underway. And yesterday, Aaron texted me and he goes, "Dude, your cuz just got, I don't know, manhandled or something like that by Chase Young." And I was like, "Who?" Posterized. And you're exactly right. I finally saw the clip. And number one, I didn't know there was Adams on the team, cuz. Number two, that guy just got worked over like I don't know, like fish from yesterday's market or something like that. It was really bad.
Let me find it.
I saw it on Twitter.
Paul Adams. I didn't know.
Paul Adams, not John the Tree Adams.
Here it is. Look. Chase Young ragdolls Paul Adams in training. In case you guys didn't see this.
Huh.
Is it going to play? I don't know what that is. Oh, here it is.
All right, so Chase Young is in the burgundy.
Yeah, here's Chase Young. You can tell it's him because it's easy to read his helmet. 99.
99. And this other dude, 70-something.
John's cousin is right here.
Is number 70-something. That's my cuz.
Oh, here we go. Let's play it. Watch this. I realize this dude weighs like 60 pounds more than
this guy's like a 300-pounder they throw that this happens to.
Here we go.
Oh!
One more time. Watch him. That guy's down. Oh, man.
Oh, I don't want to get all worked up on preseason because that's been really bad for us over the last 20 years. But, boy, that Chase Young looks good, man.
I'd like to welcome
my
Chris J in the UK.
Hey.
On the Old School YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah.
He agrees with me about the Red Wolves. Not a fan. Still missing the Redskins. Well,
yeah.
I'm probably going to be calling them the Redskins for like ever, no matter what they call the team. So, I mean, just because they officially changed the name, do we really have to stop calling them that?
Depends on who I'm talking to.
Oh, so if you're talking to like,
if I'm talking to you, I'm like, it's the Redskins.
One of the three people that had a problem with the team name, then you won't say it.
I won't say it if I'm talking to someone named like Charlie Horse. Or, wait, what's her name?
Horse?
Charlie Black Horse?
Charlie Horse? Dude, that was so racist.
That's probably very racist. I have no idea what her name is. Black Horse. It's Black Horse
Amanda
something.
Black Horse.
Okay, man. Maybe she has a brother named Charlie. I don't know.
Not Charlie Horse. So if you're talking to Amanda
Black Horse,
then you might not say Redskins in front of her.
If I would happen to be talking to Amanda Black Horse, I would 100% say Redskins in front of her because I don't like that. I do not like her.
Amanda Black Horse.
But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I hope she has something else to be upset about since the Redskins. There have been a couple articles that have been out from people like that. They're like, I don't know what's going on with the Redskins. They're not talking to us. And they're like, well, yeah, of course they're not talking to you guys. You guys are the ones who want them to change the name.
I think, they expect.
Why would they talk to you?
Be like, oh, please, now that we've agreed that you're right and we need to change the name, please advise us on what we should name our privately owned team.
Right. Yeah.
Because what? I kind of feel sorry for that woman in that her life's goal is over and that was it. To get a football team to change its name.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad the three people who were in charge of that got what they wanted.
Yeah, thanks.
The rest of us are moving on and and they're doing whatever they're doing.
Here's my point of me continuing to call them the Redskins from now on forever. Now that the team's officially changed, it's not like any of those people actually watch the team or listen to the news about the team or anything else, so they won't ever hear it. Just saying.
It doesn't matter to me. Redskins, Red Hogs, Red Tails, Red Wolves,
Red Tails.
Washington football team.
I like the Washington football team.
Washington football team. I almost wish it was DC football team.
Me too, but either if it's Washington or DC, the way we're going, that name would have to get changed eventually too.
Not for football team.
Not
or
the
for
football
DC.
Team part. If we just call it football team, but District of Columbia, that's after Columbus, right? So.
Oh, that's true. So, yeah.
We could just call it
the District Columbus
football team. How about the district football team?
Well, the Nationals had on the district T-shirts in the press conference from last night's game. I know the basketball team, the Wizards, Bullets, were wearing theirs. Have had the district on their shirts for a number of years now. So yeah, just be like the district team.
Let's just call it DFT.
The
district
DFT.
The DFT. I like that DFT.
The DFT, kind of like the DMV, kind of like the DMV, Detroit, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Detroit.
I hear some noise behind me.
It's a rat.
Probably.
It's a rat or your kid.
Chris J says, I suppose the name change is better than the team moving to another city. Well, I would like it to actually move to Washington.
Yeah, truly. Well, now that they changed the name, maybe they'll actually going to go through. And that brings us to our next subject to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
The new team president.
It's an interesting point that I want to bring up after you bring this point up. All right,
the team president.
You don't even remember his name. It's Jason Wright.
It's Jason Wright, who is the first black NFL team president in the history of the NFL, which I was very surprised about when I heard that. He was a running back. I think played for the Raiders, amongst other teams. I don't know.
I know he played for the Cardinals. I read that.
Maybe played for the Cardinals. I don't know. He's been in DC, and he actually sounds kind of like a dork. So he'll probably be really good because he, as the president, the president of the Washington football team, he is not going to be working with the football team. He's going to do all the stuff that the president normally does, which Bruce Allen never did, which Vinny Serrato never did. He's actually going to have a job like a normal president of an NFL team. It'll be great. He's not going to touch the football team. It's going to be fantastic.
Weird, I can't get this to scroll down on here. That's him up there. Hold on. Let me try to put a picture. Yeah, so yeah, he's going to actually run the business. And I heard an interview with him on Brian Mitchell's show.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he's going to handle the business stuff, and
which includes trying to get the team back in DC at the RFK site.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera is going to handle the football stuff. He said, so don't be texting me your draft picks. He also said it only took like 30 seconds after he got the job before he started getting people talking about Red Wolves. Tweeting about that.
I think there's more people that want the Red Wolves than you're giving them credit for.
You think?
I think so. I still don't think it's the majority, but I think I don't know, maybe it's a majority out of Redskins groups. I don't think it's like over 50%, but I don't know. I think
it's probably more than Red Tails. I'll give you that.
I hope so. Just don't name us after any people.
Yep.
Ever.
We don't like people. They're too fickle.
They're too fickle. Fickle, man, that's an old man word. Fickle. He's too fickle.
You're totally fickle.
Grandpa.
Yeah, so anyway, this guy sounded like he's well put together. He played football. He's trained in business. I think he went to Northwestern.
He went to Northwestern, yeah. He ticks all the right boxes, like seeing that he's gone to Northwestern. He's in the business community. He seems like he's a good candidate for the job, so good for him.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does. We'll see if we get the stadium at RFK or not. That's the main goal. Whoever the president is, that's their number one goal, is to
get us out of FedEx.
Get us out of FedEx and out of suburban Maryland and put us back in DC.
FedEx is so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, did you hear that? I forget the number of teams. The Redskins are one of some NFL teams that are not going to have any fans at the stadium this season. Of course, I read the article and said, how's that different than last year? But
said everybody.
Part of that is if they sell, even if they were allowed to have 25% fans there, they don't want 75% of those 25% to be other team fans.
Yeah, really.
So they're just removing that from the equation by being like, nope, no fans.
Well, yeah, and that and also COVID, no reason to spread poison around, like the Indianapolis 5.
It made the decision easier, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they did that with the Indianapolis 500. They said it was going to be like quarter capacity, and then Penske, who bought the 500, I think in January, he's a car owner. He just said, I can't bring people here because it's just too risky. They're just going to spread COVID everywhere. So.
David Herzing brings up an interesting point. We still don't have a GM. Is Jason Wright pulling those duties?
No. GM is for football. Jason Wright's not doing football. He is doing the business side of the football team. He's not doing football.
So he's not like handling the contracts and everything for those players?
I don't know.
Is it like Ron Rivera's like, here, we want this dude, make it happen?
Well, we've got that other guy who is the de facto GM. What is his name? He's like the vice president of something or other. But he's a young guy too.
Because he's gone.
He's gone. It's somebody else. All right, I'm gonna research, see if I can figure what this guy's name is, because he's basically the de facto GM. He just doesn't have that title. But that's the kind of stuff. I guess contracts is what the GM does. I don't know. Honestly, it's a good question.
Well, in the past, GM has blown smoke up everyone. Bruce Allen. Let's talk about the differences. Let's talk about similarities and differences between our past team president, Bruce Allen, was he? And Jason Wright.
You might as well loop in or lump in Vinny Serrato as well, because he was just terrible as well.
All right, first,
cocaine eyes.
Let's see. First thing on the schedule, differences. Jason Wright played football for several seasons and actually was a captain of his team at one point.
All right, good.
Bruce Allen
shows leadership, like it.
Watched football because his daddy was a football coach.
Right.
Jason Wright went to business school at Northwestern and is a successful what is he? What's his job?
Business person?
I don't know what his job is, though. He's like an advisor. Business
I
advisor?
guess. Yeah.
I don't know. Bruce Allen, what did he do business-wise? How did he get in business? Was it just because his dad was a coach?
Maybe.
We're just going to say it was just because he was brought up through the football world.
That's a good way to say it, yeah. Brought up through the football world.
Jason Wright sounds like he cares about making things better and connecting with the fans and the players and everyone else that works for the team.
Right.
Bruce Allen was just a jerk to Anyway, it looks like the team's going in a better direction. This guy seems like he's going to help turn things around too.
I think it's a good way for them to go.
And okay, so what else are we going to talk about football wise? The running back situation now. We started to talk about it.
Oh yeah, we did. We were talking about Bryce Love.
Apparently Bryce Love and what's the other speedster we got? Antonio Gibson. We're tearing it up in practice today, from what I read. Chase Young on the injury report had a tweaked hip flexor, so he sat out. But apparently the field was wet, so it was more precautionary than anything else.
Okay, yeah.
I read that Wes Martin was looking really good on the offensive line.
That would be good to know. We've got a really good person in charge of the offensive line this year, even though Callahan left. We got that guy from Carolina that came with Ron Rivera. So
what's that?
I have no idea. Nope.
So anyway, Wes Martin apparently played well today. I think it was on Redskins.com. Let me see. Which, by the way, is still, it redirects to WashingtonFootball.com. How was that? Let me ask you this. Remember that dude that bought up like all the domains and everything? Like Red.
How did he not get this one?
How did he not get Washington Football? Yeah, here it is. Right here.
That's a good question.
Let me bring it on to our view here. Here it is. Training camp. This is Redskins.com. There it is. Wes Martin. Now, this is just filler information, but I did.
Okay, dude. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go. The person now who is the executive vice president of player personnel for the Washington football team, the de facto GM, is Kyle Smith. I was thinking it was Kyle something, but we've got that Kyle Allen guy as one of the quarterbacks, so I couldn't remember who it was. So that's who I was talking about. So he's kind of the de facto GM, and they're going to see if he can pull his weight at this point and see how he does, and hopefully he'll do well as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, here's what I was talking about from today's practice. He gets a knockdown on Deron Payne, Wes Martin, and here it is. You gotta look in the background. Look at him put him down, dude.
Yeah.
See that?
That's good.
Pretty nice.
That's good.
Here's Bryce Love getting some work.
Bryce Love.
Okay, not so impressive or anything. But
it's really hard to tell about training camp. It always, I mean, all your guys look like superstars, except for Paul Adams.
Hey, pay.
Is he doing the Macarena? Oh, that's someone else's arm. Never mind. My name is AP, and I'm doing Macarena.
Hey, what's up?
Macarena.
Respect the OGs. This is all.
So anyway, one more thing for us to talk about is the the Redskins.com or whatever it is now. It's looking better. Again, they're trying to gear towards younger people. We're not like a bunch of like 60-year-old alcoholics like Alan the Bruce and Cut guy that used to do radio and all those guys. So hopefully we're going to be Larry. So let's talk about the quarterbacks, because Alex Smith not only was cleared to participate, he is now cleared to play football.
And you said it wasn't going to happen.
I can't believe he's cleared to play football. I want to see him start taking hits on that leg, because there's no way he is going to play football ever.
Not only did they
unless it's like in his backyard.
Not only
he's got a big lump at his ankle, man. Half his leg is like other parts of his leg.
And
he can't play.
They said his throws looked crisp.
I bet his throws do look crisp. I bet he looks really good until he gets hit.
Do we have any footage of him from practice? That's the question.
I saw him getting doused in champagne by his family. And you know what he had on? He had on that humongous black leg, I don't know what it's called, Under Armour thing that was on that one leg, like some of the people like number 24 used to wear on one arm.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it's really good. He's going to be in there. He's going to be a great mentor. But if anyone thinks he's actually going to play on the field, you guys are fooling yourselves, man. I mean, if you didn't see that, there was bone, like leg bone, like this much sticking out. Like you could see everything. All the meat got cut away because it was all dying. There are other parts of his leg there. That's why his leg looks weird in that black like bodysuit thing on his one leg.
But they fixed it.
They did fix it. It's amazing he didn't die.
Hey, if he plays a snap, it might be a Rudy moment.
I think he's going to play a snap. I think he's going to play a snap or like a I think he's going to do
Rudy.
I think number one, the Redskins are actually going to have a point where they have to do a participation time at the end of the game, and he's going to come in to do his
Let Alex have my jersey. Let Deron Payne. Let Alex have my jersey.
Jonathan Allen comes in. Let Alex have my jersey.
Alex has my jersey.
Tress Way comes in. It's like, let Alex wear my jersey on his leg. Yo, dude. Let Alex put my jersey on his leg, dude.
Hey, in other news, tidbit news. I read that Scary Terry really hates the nickname Scary Terry, and he wants a new one.
Well, yeah, I can understand it, I guess. Well, we'll see how he does this year. He might just be like,
I don't like Scary Terry. I don't want that nickname.
I don't like that nickname.
You can't choose your own nickname. It has to come to you.
You can't choose your own nickname unless you're like Deion Sanders, who named himself.
Dion, and Primetime.
And Primetime.
He changed from Neon when Neon became very 80s.
When Neon went out like Miami Vice.
When Neon went out of style, he became Primetime. And then he became Suck at Washington.
There's a website out there. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to find it, but there's a website out there that actually has started doing stats of defensive backs and cornerbacks and safeties and how many times they've broken up a pass as opposed to how many times they've given up touchdowns. Because that's the ultimate stat. I want to find out what Deion did with that more than any other stat ever and compare it to Darryl Green's.
Oh, dude, it's not even close. We already know this.
I want to see the actual numbers.
Do you remember how mad I was when they actually benched Darryl Green for Deion?
Yeah.
And every other Redskins fan that was born before 1985.
It was terrible.
Is that your phone?
That's my phone.
Who's texting you? I'm here talking to you. I'm the only one that texts you.
Dude, I've got like 3 texts on here, seriously.
Look how many I got.
Probably 100.
0.
This is a text from your wife saying, when are you getting done with the podcast?
We got work to do. What else did we want to bring up on this show, by the way?
I think finishing with Alex Smith, I think he will do a victory formation if the Redskins can actually get to that point in a game.
Do you care to wager on this? I think he's going to take some meaningful snaps this season.
He will not take meaningful snaps in a football game this season. He will get victory formation time because he's got Kyle Allen ahead of him.
Maybe.
Kyle Allen came with Ron Rivera.
I'm just saying this. I looked at the number of snaps that the quarterbacks took of the starting offense, and first was Dwayne Haskins, followed by
Alex Smith. Because they're trying to trade him.
They're not going to trade him. Think about this new culture that they're building in Washington. You want a dude there that's fought this hard to get back.
Absolutely.
As an inspiration on your team. They're not going to trade him. They're going to keep him there even if he's just there to, cheer people on and tell them they can do it. And look what I did. You can do this. Look what
I think it's going to be great for him.
3 more downs. I mean, come on.
If he plays an actual snap where he does anything other than hand the ball off, I will give you $1.
That's it? That's the wager, $1?
$1. I'm not a gambler. This is a lot of money. This is 4 quarters, dude. And if he doesn't, you have to give me $1. Okay. And I want 2 50-cent pieces. I want 2 50-cent pieces, dude.
I can give myself a McDouble with that. I'm loving it. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something else. I know we're forgetting something. Oh.
We probably are.
Oh. I heard about Ryan Kerrigan and how he's loving it, putting his hand in the dirt and going. Without him having to worry about coverage, dude.
Oh man, he's been on so many bad defenses, and he still just racks up sack after sack after sack.
Except for last year, for some reason.
But some games he was fantastic.
I think he's going to be solid.
Oh man, I the fact that he doesn't have to. Man, I just hate the 3-4. Man, I just hate it. I hate it.
I hated it since day one.
It's very specialized.
It seems like 20 years ago, and I've hated it since the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, cornerback situation. It looks like Ronald Darby, this dude that we got from the Eagles, has stepped up, and it looks like it's going to be him and Kendall Fuller as the starting cornerbacks at this point.
So I wet the bed, and Terrence Trent Darby are going to be our 2 cornerbacks.
Yeah, and Jimmy Moreland slot
as the nickel.
Day 3 of training camp. Yeah, sorry, nickel. You know what I mean?
We got Thunder.
What are your thoughts about that? Starting safeties. You know who? Landon Collins and Troy.
Oh, yeah, Landon Collins. Landon Collins, I think, obviously. I think he's an all-pro. He's going to be so surprisingly better because he's not with idiots in the back. Apke, I think, is solid. We'll see what he can keep doing. And our front 7 looks really, really, really good.
Our front 7, it's like our front 12. Like, they can just, keep bringing people in. Like, the backups are almost as good as the first guys.
And Reuben Foster is going to be back.
Reuben Foster, we didn't even talk about that. He's back active as well.
He's back active. He's participating. He's I know he had some legal troubles when he was with San Francisco, but he was found not guilty. They didn't press charges. It's a completely different story than Geis. That's for sure.
If he can be back 100%, our defense could be something to be reckoned with.
I think so.
We could be the story of 2020, second to COVID.
Yeah, second to COVID.
If there's a season.
Yeah, that's the thing. If there's a season.
Such a weird year. Anyway.
You're telling me, man.
Do we want anything else before we go? Do you guys in the chat rooms have anything you want us to cover or talk about? If so, talk now or forever hold your peace.
Until next week or next time.
I started the league. I think it was, I forget who it was that emailed me and was like, when are we doing the draft? So I set the people that are in the league, I set it for, I think, the Saturday before the first game, as close as I could to the season, because we don't know who's going to be out for injury or COVID.
Yeah.
And, so make sure you take all the Cowboys out of your player list if you're going to auto pick, because if you pick one, they're cut as soon as the draft's over.
Cut!
Yeah, dude. So things are actually looking up for the team. You know, we already hit rock bottom. We did establish that. So, you know.
Yeah.
Let's round this thing out.
That's all I've got for this week, dude.
That's all I got. Is this my outro music?
There you go.
Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, our podcast will be available on YouTube, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, and now on Spotify. So if you're a Spotify,
I actually brought it up on my Spotify.
If you're a Spotify customer, you'll be able to get the podcast there. Be sure to join the Discord chat room where you can chat 24/7 with us and other Prairie Hog Football Podcast listeners. And that to join address is discord.gg/5YW5YFT. Or just look at the YouTube video and it's on the videos down in
5Y.
Right-hand corner?
5Y.
5Y. FT. Yeah, dudes, and our podcast is also always available on our website, prairiehogfootball.com, to watch
Yes, sir.
or listen to. Is that it?
All those podcast places. Check them out.
We'll talk to you guys next week. And as always, hail to the Redskins, and if you see a Cowboys fan,
Joga!
can't find my mouse.